For those about to pod fire, we salute you. Chris seems baffled by this.
Yep.
Welcome to the pod. It's HowDoWeHuman, the podcast where we overanalyze AC/DC and the uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
Today
Still reeling from that intro.
Today we're talking about fire. You know the song For Those About to Rock?
Yeah.
And then he yells, fire!
And
they shoot off a cannon.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
That's the fun part.
Transition into the fire.
Okay.
I, of course, know For Those About to Rock.
Of course.
We salute you.
Yes.
I didn't realize there was something in the middle.
Oh. Fire! I don't want to get a copyright strike. Please. Leave us, please. Leave us bees?
Yeah, I mean, we've already gotten copyright flags on Spotify in previous episodes, so please not this one.
Struck up the wazoo.
Yeah.
But before we get into what's up my wazoo,
yeah, and we are going to get to that.
A lot of fire. Chris.
Yeah.
We got to know how you're doing.
Evan, you're not going to believe this unless you remember what I told you in the last episode.
Okay.
I have another work story. This is, I happened to be moving something from one place to another. Pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
I was in a little bit of a rush. End up bringing something over. Then when I turn around, hit my head on something like a piece of hard plastic that was covering a metal corner of something.
Awesome.
So sort of like definitely could have been worse, but still bonked my head pretty good. So ended up having to report a work injury and then also go see the physician that contracts with my employer. But
that's a weird I've been there. That is a weird vibe.
It's a very weird vibe. And it was a weird vibe even just reporting it with my supervisors, because I was in the supervisor office and there were 3 of them in there. And, 1 woman and 2 men. And I
love to see it.
Highlight that because I was making the report with the woman, and the other 2 guys were just also in the office.
Okay.
And the stark juxtaposition, Evan, between, oh my God, are you okay? That are like, do you have any pain, or do you feel like going through all these, for lack of a better word, nurturing questions?
Yes.
As opposed to like, oh, did it knock some sense into you? Oh, do you need me to hit you on the other side of the head to balance you out? Was just a very awkward thing. And then when I went over to the physician, I walk over there. It's across the street from our building, so I didn't have to like drive anywhere. But walk in there, I'm like, hey, I'm here for a on-the-job injury. And they're like, okay, I'm going to send you a text to fill out the like paperwork for the doctor's office or whatever.
Send you a text so we can get to be friends.
Yeah. And they're like, so make sure you like fill it out as soon as you get it so that, we're not stuck waiting or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I get the text. It's a 3-page long, like, fill in all these blanks. And so I'm working on it, and it's like, she sent it to me like 45 seconds ago. And she's like, Chris, are you ready?
Oh my
like,
God.
Not really.
But,
no. But yeah, it was a weird vibe. Then the doctor comes in, and she's also like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry to hear this happen to you. And we're like running all these tests, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure, like I'm reporting it because I feel like, you have to report a work injury, and you want it documented in case things get worse.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that what I need is like Tylenol
Yeah.
for like a couple hours, and then it'll probably go away. I do want the expert's opinion on whether or not I have a concussion or whatever, but
Certainly.
I'm pretty sure I just bonked my head friggin' Looney Tunes style. And so we run a bunch of tests and do a bunch of exercises, following the light with my eyes, touching my nose with my fingers. Then she sends me over to the physical therapist's office. We do a couple like, are you able to push this without any issue? What if you turn your head all the way to the side? Any problems? Ended up being that there's no, discernible thing. They're like, if it gets worse, come back and see us. We're gonna give you, and then they gave me so much shit, Evan. They gave me Tylenol. They
Great.
gave me a special little pillow to sleep on. They gave me heating and cooling gels,
All right.
heating pads, like all this like gigantic
I want that.
goodie bag, if you will, of like pain relief. And what do you know? I took one Tylenol, and then like the next day I felt fine. So it was a lot of attention on me for feeling dumb for bonking my head.
Yeah.
Um,
That's great.
yeah, but ended up okay. No problems. When I went back for a follow-up, they were like, if you feel fine, then we'll release you. Otherwise, if you want, we can do an MRI. I was like, I really don't think I want to be in the MRI machine for
No.
when I feel totally fine.
Yeah.
So I didn't end up doing it. So hopefully everything's okay in there. But
Hopefully.
you know,
Knock on head.
knock on head. Evan,
Yeah.
I've knocked on head. Now I want to get in that wazoo and figure out what's in there. Evan, how you doing?
Well, first, I do want to say that, yeah, when that happened to me, what the vibe was like everyone being, oh my God, are you okay? With the underlying tone of like, you better not fucking die. Sign these papers. Do not die. Don't die.
It wasn't so much don't die for me, but there was definitely a level of like, are you okay? Like, you better, we need boots on the ground out here, so you better be fine.
But my quick question to you, do you feel like since you've been shaving your head, you've been a little bald boy, have you been bonking your head more?
I don't know that I have noticed a difference.
Okay. I bonk my head a lot. And when you were saying that, I remembered back to when I worked for a company that I would do that with. But now I work from home, and I bonk my head all the fucking time. I've bonked it multiple times today, setting all this computer stuff back up under my desk. And it would be very, very funny to report it to my company every time I hit my head at home.
Yeah, that would be to have an on-the-job work injury in the podcast space.
Like 2 or 3 times a week. Just like, oh, hit my head again. You want to check it out? Anyways, I'm doing as good as I can. I'm exhausted, and we'll get into it, obviously, or not obviously, if you're not from here. The mountain I live on has been on fire since last Thursday.
This mountain's on fire.
I caught on sang along.
On sang along.
I caught on and sang along. So that's not great. And with that came, and we'll get into it, but I did evacuate me house. And
your bowels, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You just wait. No, I'm not going to talk about my bowels this episode. I could, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to leave that to the old imagination because it's better than anything I could say.
Yeah. They're real and they're spectacular.
So, I've been staying with my girlfriend's parents. We both have, not just me by myself. Us and our dogs all left together, and I've been staying there and really appreciated their hospitality. It's nice when you have to flee your house to have a place to stay. So we were there for a week, and basically, the first night, I get in the room and I'm like, oh, right. I sleep with a CPAP machine. I need distilled water for that. Otherwise, the mechanics will get all gunked up, and I don't want to deal with that. So I got my jug of distilled water, but I left it in the car. Now, they have a garage. So I got to go downstairs. I put my pajama pants on, the same ones I'm wearing right this second. Blue, checkered. Am I going to show you? No, it's better left to the imagination.
Hey,
Man.
I'm also wearing my pajamas.
Oh, this is a comfy episode,
They're
people.
also
Strap
blue,
in.
but they're not checkered.
Oh, you're missing out.
I do have blue checkered ones. These are just
Okay.
solid blue.
All right. You know what? Solid.
Solid, dude.
So it's the middle of the night. All the lights are off. I'm going to the garage. This is a 2-story house. Everyone's sleeping on the second floor. Garage, obviously, on the bottom floor.
Makes sense.
I go to the door from the inside to the garage. The knob is locked. I cannot open the door. I'm like, oh shit. So there's a lock on the knob. I turn the lock. Still won't open. I turn the lock back. Still won't open. I'm like, okay,
And so
what
this
the
is from the inside of the house. You can't
inside
get
the
outside.
house. I can't leave.
Okay.
I can't get out into the garage. And then I look up and go, oh, there's a deadbolt thing. Flip that. Hey, we're golden. So,
Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. I go in the garage. You'll see where this is going when I say the door shuts behind me.
Oh,
But the door shuts behind
I have
me.
an idea.
I go into my car, I get my water, so now I'm a little boy in his pajamas with a jug of water. I go back to the door, guess what? It's locked.
What?
Yeah. I can't get back in. So I go, fuck. I walk around to the front door. Front door's locked. I walk around all the way to the back door, hoping not to step on any dog duties, because I don't have a way to turn on the light. That door's locked. Also, their giant dog is sitting there, who's been barking crazy, but he's not barking this time. That would get someone's attention.
Sure.
But no, he's sitting there silently staring at me, going like, what are you doing out there? So I go all the way back around, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do outside of like genuinely throwing rocks at the window and trying to get someone's attention. I don't have my phone on me. I'm like, fuck. I'm not going to like sleep in the car. I'm in that mindset of like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
That's going to be more embarrassing if I slept in my car because I couldn't get back in than if I had to wake everyone up in the middle of the night by pushing that doorbell. And so long story short, I did the dumb thing.
Right.
The reason that I'm locked out is because I was fucking with the lock on the doorknob handle.
Correct.
And I set it to lock, not realizing it, because it doesn't do that on the inside. So it shut behind me. I'm the idiot. This is all my bad. But here's the proudest moment I've had in a very, very long time. I've never felt so smart after feeling so dumb. You ready for this?
I am ready.
I get in my car. My phone's on the second floor. But I can make phone calls from my car. I wonder if I can get the tiniest bit of a Bluetooth connection to my phone. I turn on my car. I go to the audio settings, get into the car, call my girlfriend. And it's like, but clearly, like, it was answered.
Yeah.
And then it goes away and goes to voicemail. I'm like, okay. It seems like there was a chance. Let me try again. I call again. And I'm starting to go like, maybe if I just keep calling, she'll keep getting this weird phone call from me in the next room and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So I think I did that 3 times. No one was coming. But it did keep saying I could leave a message. I'm like, the audio is garbage. It's completely garbled, but it's worth a shot. And I said, hey, Jocelyn, this is Evan. I locked myself in the garage. Please come get me. And she did. It worked out.
Yay.
And that message came through clear. So I should pull that off her phone and put it in the episode so everyone can hear me in my saddened state in my car, desperately trying to get someone to come let me in the house.
That is, I do agree. That was a good plan.
That was good. I was feeling really low, really fucking dumb, and I was like, you know what? There's still one or two shooters in this bag of marbles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
But enough about how fire my brain is.
Yeah. Let's talk about fire, wildfires, little fires,
Halt and catch fire,
fireball
whiskey.
Yeah. I was going to make a short little jingle for this episode that used the music from the song Fireball, but I didn't want to get copyright claimed, so
What's
it
the
chose
song
not to
Fireball?
By Mr. Worldwide himself, Pitbull.
I don't know.
He goes Fireball. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
That sounds like I'm the scat man.
Hold up, Evan. I mean, maybe it's, a lot of those.
I hope it's the same.
A lot of hip hop artists certainly sample older works, so it's possible it's the same beat.
All right, I'm listening to this. We're not gonna play it because we'll get taken down, but da 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 da. All right. Get to the. Okay. Yeah. Might be the same. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty good. Da da da. I don't fucking know. Was that exciting to listen to? Me listening to Pitbull's Fireball. Catchy song.
Absolutely.
I don't always say this about Pitbull, but I didn't hate it. Okay, yes. Fireball.
Okay, yes.
Yes. I understand now where this is all coming from. As we said, there's a fire on the mountain.
Yes. Evan had to leave his home.
The Marshall Tucker Band sang. I think that's a Marshall Tucker Band song. Now you have to listen to that. This is just us listening to music. Yeah, weird times. So basically, fire. We got notice that there was a fire on Thursday, and it was, I believe, half an acre. Nothing to be too concerned about. It was a fire near Highland, which is a town at the bottom of the mountain. The next day, didn't hear any helicopters, sirens, anything. Nothing really going on. The next day, suddenly, it's like 1,000 acres. It's like, okay, more. That's more. Still, not really hearing anything. Seems weird. Coming a little bit in our direction. The next day, we're at like 15,000 acres. Well, now the fire department's on it. Let's get to work, boys. All right. Not disparaging firefighters. The firefighters themselves have been wonderful. I've got a lot to say about their leadership. The supervisors they have to get their info from.
It's interesting how so many jobs have that same problem.
It's weird. I'll talk a little bit about the town halls we've sat through, and I'm just like, I've had these bosses before. They suck. Fuck off. But again, the firefighters have been amazing. I've seen videos of them like having to just literally climb the mountain on foot in the brush with all their gear on them. Trying to put this sucker out. It is now, let me see what the most recent. It's over 30,000 acres, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had an acre of land. I've never been able to afford one.
I wouldn't be doing this podcast.
It's okay. So it's now at 37,743 acres. The initial concern was my girlfriend has her grandfather helped build a cabin near right where the fire was going up to. So Saturday we went over there. I cleared a bunch of brush out of the way. We kind of, I don't know if you're supposed to wet the house down, but we did that. I'm like, oh, it can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
Shut off the electricity.
How'd you wet it down, by the way?
Hose.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
You need to
I
get
believe
some
we
water.
call them sex workers, but I think that, whatever
dumb.
works.
That's arguably the dumbest joke you've ever told. And I loved it. All right. Anyways, so whoa,
what the fuck is going on out here? Fucking garbage truck has been rattling around all these dumpsters for the last 45 fucking minutes straight.
Just wanted to give
There's
a little
two dumpsters back there. Why is it taking so long?
Just wanted to give a little toot before they left. It's been very audible.
It's been extremely audible.
I'll leave it in the podcast.
Did you give a little toot before you left the family cabin?
No, I should have. Anyway, so we live 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from there. Fortunately for us, it's been in the positive direction of what we now know. The fire's heading the other way. But at the time, super smoky, skies orange, it slowly started to be it's kind of hard to see, and I need to wear a mask when I'm outside. And the town where her family's cabin is under an evacuation order. We get put under evacuation warning, which means get ready, maybe get a bag ready, get ready to go. But if you have health problems, elderly, or pets, maybe just go. You know what I mean? So we have pets. We have 2 dogs. And we're like, it's getting bad. And it exploded from half an acre to 30,000 acres.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't be here. We took it upon ourselves to go early. We drove around a lot to look at it, and it's like, oh, we can see the fire. That's not good. When you can see the flames. And when we were coming back, they were shutting off the road right in front of the street where our house is. And we asked the guys from Cal, what's the department? Cal stuff. Cal stuff.
Okay.
I can't think of what they're called. But we just asked him, what you know? How's this looking here? I know they've evacuated them over there. And he he was relatively chill considering the situation, but he's just as he's closing off the road right in front of our house, he's like, honestly, I would not be surprised if there's an evacuation order within the next hour. It's looking bad. It's coming this direction. So we're just like, all right.
All right, goodbye.
Peace. And so, long story short, we lucked out. The fire has been going the other way. Not great for Big Bear, which is the big town to the east of us. I'm great with directions. You'll love to see it. But is a much bigger town, and all those escape routes are closed off right now. So hopefully they're able to contain it a bit more. It's currently at 21% containment. But yeah, so spent a week with the, we'll call them future in-laws.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Is this a HowDoWeHuman exclusive?
It's a HowDoWeHuman. Keep an eye on that.
Okay. Are there, like, during like hurricanes, you hear about all the people in like Florida that are like, I'm going to stand my ground. Ain't no hurricane taking my house. You know how Florida people sound.
I'm glad you asked.
Are there people who do that for wildfires? Are there people who are like, no, I'm going to stay?
You'd be shocked at the amount of people who are standing their ground against a fire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Maybe I'd be shocked by the total number. I do know a little bit of the demographics of where you live, and I'm not surprised some people are doing it.
I believe it was in the thousands.
Oh my
people
God.
who have decided to stay back. And the worst part, and it's like, as we get further through this, it's like, okay, maybe that is a concern, I guess, but it just sounds like get off the Fox News. The reason they're staying, not to necessarily help put out the fire, and this isn't everybody. I should disclaim. There are people who've stood back. They're like, I'm a former firefighter. I know how to get out of here when I need to. And there are people like giving news to the Facebook groups and shit, taking photos of people's cabins to let them know they're still standing. This is great. This is helpful.
Sure.
The reason the majority of those people are staying back is to protect their shit from looters.
Got it.
In the middle of a wildfire. 37,000 acres of fire. And we have to stay home because someone might come in and take my TV. I'm not going to stand for that. Ka-chick, boom.
Yeah.
People are strange. Do what you will. But they've thoroughly avoided and ignored the evacuation order in their areas, and I guess that's fine as long as they stay home. Apparently, if they leave, cops can be just like, yeah, get out of here or you're arrested. Which is funny to me.
That is interesting. I wouldn't have thought like that the looters would be their big concern. I thought that it was like, in my mind, and as we talk about, as we dance around how dumb some of these people are, I would have thought that like truly they were standing behind in like hey, I have a hose at my house. I'm going to keep the perimeter of my house fire free with my garden hose.
Yeah.
But to know that instead it's like nobody's coming in to steal my valuables. That's wild to me.
This place can burn down, but I'm not going to let someone else get away with my Google Nest or
$200 TV.
Yeah.
TVs are so cheap now.
TVs are so cheap, and we love it. Don't get us wrong. We love cheap TVs.
We love cheap TVs.
You love to see it and see what's on TV. Watch. Like I said, Halt and Catch Fire, maybe. Never seen it.
Chicago Fire, of course.
Chicago
in the
Fire.
Chicagoverse.
Halt and Catch Chicago.
Yep. Whatever that... Oh, no, I guess it didn't have fire in the title. I was going to say whatever that firefighter show Dennis Leary was on, but that was called Rescue Me. I
Grace.
Too late.
Under Fire.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Yeah.
see that?
No.
That's an old
I know it
sitcom.
existed, but I never watched it. I haven't watched a single one of these shows we've mentioned so far.
I don't know. Me either. Have I ever watched, movie, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me?
I haven't
I've
seen
seen
that
that.
either.
It's an offshoot of a TV show. Does that count? Otherwise, also, and we'll get back to fires.
I really am like, have I seen a single movie with the word fire in the title?
This is interesting because I'm also now realizing, like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie about fire. Like, fires have happened in movies I've seen, but I've never seen, like, Backdraft or, I mean, Volcano. There's fire involved in that.
I have seen Only the Brave, which was about the
Wow.
Granite Mountain hotshot firefighters that all perished while fighting a fire in Arizona. But that I think I saw that because it was like, I remember that news story, and then they made the movie about it.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and then I saw it and I was like, why are all these actors in my home state of Arizona speaking with a southern twang?
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that so
yeah, it
much.
was very strange. But anyway, I really am like, I'm gonna have to pull up IMDb and see if I can
The closest
find something
what's
with the word
coming to
fire in it.
mind. I don't think Fire Walk with Me. This is a movie with fire that I've seen.
And I don't think I've seen Man on Fire.
I've never seen Man on Fire
Okay.
either. But I've been thinking about it. People say it's very good. I don't know. I've seen Frequency, and that is about a firefighter.
Everybody, I want you to rest assured, I have seen Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Don't worry about
Don't worry about it.
We are deep in the worlds of J.K. Rowling and Jim Caviezel. Anyway, all that to say, I also realized I've never, outside of comedy versions, I've never watched a medical show. Any of these medical dramas. I've seen Scrubs and Children's Hospital. That's it.
Yeah, those are the two that I have seen as well. I guess I've seen House, a couple episodes of House.
Never seen an episode.
Well, perhaps, Evan, you'd be interested in a little video I did on my YouTube channel a couple weeks ago that's partially blocked in several countries, in which I take Rob Corddry's character from Children's Hospital and make him the center of Joker Fully Ado or whatever. Anyway,
that's very funny. I do like this.
By the way, really hard to get high quality footage of Children's Hospital. Anyway,
I believe that.
all of that to say, there was a wildfire in Burbank maybe 8 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And IKEA, the one I used to work at, is kind of situated near the base of one of the big mountains in Burbank. And that fire was making its way over the mountains. And so when I would leave work at night, you know, it's dark outside, but you can see that orange fire across the mountain just kind of creeping its way closer and closer. You better believe we still had to work. But
naturally,
it was making its way over. That's the only time I think that I've ever seen a wildfire in person.
Yeah, that it was so by the time it was basically when we decided we were going to evacuate, I took the leaf blower and was just like clearing out under the house, clearing brush away and just pushing stuff back. So by the time we were leaving, the sun went down. So we're driving out. We had 2 cars, so she's driving, I'm driving with our dogs, and just like it was so hard not to get in an accident because you're driving down the mountain. You've driven up here. It's beautiful out there. Yeah. It's pitch black except for orange glowing fire. The moon is orange, and your rear view mirror, you're just seeing everything is on fire. It was very surreal, and in that moment very much felt like I don't think the house is going to be there whenever we're able to come back. It was weird. Seeing fire is weird. I don't know how
Yeah.
else to. I was at a work thing. What do you call it? I used to go to the one in Vegas a lot. Show.
Company retreat.
No, like a showroom for video stuff. The company
Expo?
canon will be expos, sure. And there was one in Seattle, and during the lunch break, we all went out to go get lunch, and the building across the street was like done. It was on fire. The whole time we're in there going like, ooh, new Telecaster. It's like flames, just completely covered in flames. It's mesmerizing. It's the weirdest fucking thing. You've lit a match. You've lit some fireworks before. You've made a little bonfire. There's something different to watching a structure burn.
Yeah,
I sound like a pyromaniac when I say that, but
I remember driving to sign a lease for my apartment in North Hollywood, and a car was pulled over on the side of the road, completely engulfed in flames.
Wow.
And there is something enchanting about fire. I know you mentioned
seems magic.
You mentioned pyromania. Have you ever been a pyromaniac? You know, some kids grow up fascinated by fire and want to create it, feel the power of it. This kind of segues into a question from Jordan Parker, who is asking, were either of you into fire/matches/lighters around age 8 like me, or were you normal?
I was more into killing animals, small animals, with my hands so I could feel the life draining out of their bodies.
Okay, Dahmer.
Yeah, okay, that's the new Okay Boomer.
That's the new Okay Boomer.
Okay, Dahmer. That was not true. I would never. I was going to say no, but then you said matches. So it's like, you know what? Yes, I was very into matches. Particularly learning how to, which I can still do. This old dog ain't losing tricks, as the saying almost goes.
Still got some shooters in that bag of marbles.
I still got some shooters in that bag of marbles, as that saying almost goes. Flipping the match over the book.
Flipping a match.
And one-handed lighting a match. You ever done that?
No. Matches are to me like a regular razor. I've never understood using either one of these things. I have only used
like
an electric razor.
Oh.
Yeah. And I have only used a lighter. These are the only... why are we going back to friggin' pilgrim times? We've got the technology, baby.
Fascinating.
I can't wait for AI-generated lighters and razors.
That's absolutely fascinating, and I love it. I love matches. Just the other day, we were out camping before all this fire crap happened, and the looters took over the mountain. Was camping and had to start a fire. The people who had started the fire the night before, they were out doing something else, and sun went down, and I'm like, oh, all the stuff, someone already set up all the wood in there. I'm like, I might as well light it. The only fire stuff I had were these stormproof matches. These are the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. I bought them at REI because I just was stocking on camping equipment, and I'm like, that sounds like it could come in handy. I'll keep them for an emergency. The idea being, if it's raining, if it's windy, doesn't matter. This light will match.
This light will match.
Scratch that, reverse it.
Oh my God.
Great
okay,
Willy Wonka once said, okay, Wonka. Wonka Dahmer.
Ooh.
That's pretty much Joker, right?
Is Wonka Dahmer pretty much Joker?
I think so.
I don't think so, but
he's a handsome man killing a bunch of people, but he's got this loony little twisted side to him.
I mean, I guess I can see how you got there. I just don't.
I got there.
I don't see it.
It
but
fits. Well,
I mean, Wonka was a musical. This new Joker is supposed to be a musical.
they keep saying that, but none of the ads have made it look remotely like a musical.
I don't know. There was a wild quote, and again, we'll start talking about fire again in a
We
second.
will.
But there was an insane quote from the
This new Joker
director
movie
of
looks
Joker
so
2,
fire.
with director Todd Phillips saying, people keep calling it a musical, but I don't really see it that way. I just see it as like, Joker's thoughts and dialogue being expressed through song. It's like, yeah, dude,
That's what
a
musicals
fucking
are.
musical.
You'll love
Anyway.
to see it. You should be fired. That's almost a Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I thought
good.
you were auditioning for the Joker. I thought that was your Joker laugh.
Gotham won't know what hit it.
I don't hate it.
It's not terrible.
It's not unmaniacal.
I can't stop doing cartoon laughs. I forget what we were talking about. And I don't want to just move on if we were in the middle of something.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
How did we get
to Joker
from
Wonker
from Wonka Dahmer to Joker?
Wonker Dahmer. Oh no. Oh, I do want to watch Willy Wonker.
Yeah, I would watch that.
It's like a Southern Willy Wonka. Well, maybe we'll come back around. Oh, we were talking about Jordan Parker's question. Of course, I was talking about storm matches.
Yeah,
They're cool as hell. It's like you light it and it like sparks come off it like a sparkler, and it just makes a massive flame and this crazy noise. It was thrilling, and my being a child and liking matches came back to me. So yeah, I guess I was a kid. Long story short, I think I was a kid that liked fire, but not. I wasn't going around lighting things on fire. I'm not a pyromaniac. Just a kid that likes fire. It's normal.
Just a kid that likes fire. See,
I'm not a wonkerdama.
Something I do like fire related are the lighters, but the long lighters, not the little handheld Bic ones or whatever, but the ones sometimes we have to light our stove. So we got the long one that reaches in there. I love those because I like to twirl them around on my little finger like they're a pistol.
100%.
I have no interest in like firing a gun, but twirling one around on my finger is interesting to me.
Yeah. You should get one of those lighters that's shaped like a gun.
Yeah. That would be...
It'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Don't put it next to your gun.
Yeah. I stand my ground.
Got it. No one else is going to stand it for you.
Who else? Yeah. The trained professionals fighting the fire. Oh man, what was I about to say? Oh, sparklers you mentioned.
Yes.
I have held a sparkler once or twice in my life. Sometimes at like weddings, they'll give everybody a sparkler, right?
Okay.
And you've all gotta hold the sparkler.
I
I don't know what to do with them because I don't want to accidentally have mine catch something on fire. So I feel
awful.
Like truly like I have no idea what to do. And I just like hold it as far away from everything as I can.
I wonder, is this less of our sparklers like when you're a kid, less of a thing in Arizona because it's so dry? Are you shooting off fireworks out there?
No, I mean some people do for sure, but
it's not like a big.
It's not like a big thing. I've never been very into fireworks.
Same.
I mean, for like New Year's, we would always watch like the East Coast New York fireworks show at 9 p.m. and be like, that's good enough.
Good enough for me.
4th of July, we went out a couple times, I guess. And then like Disneyland, we would see some fireworks. But in general, I just don't care enough about fireworks, I guess.
We got this in common. They ain't for me. In fact, I believe did an episode about fireworks.
We did
or the 4th of
the
July.
4th of July, and I think we talked
Okay.
heavily about them.
Heavily.
Okay,
so what I wanted to talk about.
I do. Oh, I love the Katy Perry song though.
Baby, you're a firework.
Baby,
Rockabye baby. No, you're a firework. Get up there. Stop singing to babies, Katy. Let them sleep. Haven't they been through enough? So dumb. What I wanted to talk about was you're
so mad at me for my hose joke. And you come out here with "Stop singing to babies." Haven't they been through enough?
Singing to babies,
Let them
Katy.
sleep.
Let the babies sleep for once. They're not fireworks. Some awkwardnesses around the fire, and then I do need to talk about this insane town hall they just had.
Oh yeah, please.
Very Parks and Rec. But first awkward thing I wanted to mention: it's very awkward to have to, because we had to, again, it's nighttime. We're like, we got to get out of here sooner than later. We're packing up our valuables with the thought that this place might burn down. So I was talking to you before, and like I was initially thinking I'll just leave the computer. I'm like, nah, I've got so much shit on there. Like, fine, I'll unplug the computer, take everything in the car. I took all my shit. Not all my shit, but also I do want to just say that's a fascinating experience in I don't know, futility.
Like figuring out what
the impermanence of everything is. Like, you're walking around and the amount of shit, I'm just going like, that can burn. All my books, they can burn. All my magic cards, they can burn. That trumpet, they can burn. A couple of these guitars, I guess they can burn. You've only got so much room in your car, and it's a really weird experience to go through. But the awkward thing is going through all of that, and it's like, we packed everything up, driving off into the night. Felt very Sound of Music. There's fire on the mountain in the background, drama-rama. And at a certain point, I had to say the words, because I was too tired to do it the night before. I had to say the words to my girlfriend. Well, before Monday, I still have to edit the podcast.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to say these words. I don't want to have to say this to anybody. Everything worked out, though, because on Sunday, I was already very tired, but everyone else went out to do something. So I had the whole house to myself. So I was just like, it's Sunday. I'm going to put football games on, edit the podcast. It all went well. But it's just like, man, nothing seems more dumb and useless than this podcast when you're packing up for your house to burn down.
I'm assuming that the HowDoWeHuman stickers made your evacuation bag.
Yeah. Listen, I said it at your wedding. There's some in my wallet at all times. They're ready for anything. The rest of them, no, they did stay behind, unfortunately. I said, let them burn. I sent enough out to Jordan Parker. He's doing the Lord's work, sticking them all over the place. But the other awkward thing is that we're, not 100%, but you're kind of holding that opinion that, like, these stand your ground folks, these people that are worried about looters, it's ridiculous. And the whole time we're away, there are people going like, it's fine here. Like, everyone just come home, come back. There's nothing wrong. And you're like, but there's a massive fucking fire very nearby.
That little gif or that comic of the dog sitting at the table.
Everything's fine. So, yeah, I mean, and it's just been an erratic fire. But it's weird. We came back yesterday, and it's like, yeah, this area is fine. It's weird. There's still 37,000 acres of land very nearby that are very much on fire. but here's okay. And you hate that feeling of like,
Yeah.
were they right?
Sure.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Did you get looted?
No, believe it or not, nobody came fucking near the place. Oh, I forgot. I just had it. There was another thing. One other
While
thing.
you think about that, I want to bring up every time there's a wildfire, I think about the infamous one that we had here a couple years ago, started by a gender reveal party.
Yeah.
And I think about that child so often. How, like, this, is this kid going to grow up to be as, like, dumb as his family? Or completely, like, resent them? Like, I don't know which way it goes.
At what point does the child find out about this?
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Right?
That is a documentary. Get cameras on these freaks.
Get cameras on these freaks.
Because, baby, you're a firework.
I think that a documentary series called Get These Cameras On, or Get Cameras on These Freaks is like that's golden idea right there.
That sounds like a good show.
Let's hop over to
show.
TLC.
And, cameras on these freaks.
A different episode where somebody finds out some horrible thing about their family or their past on camera.
Yeah. Get cameras on these freaks.
Get cameras on these freaks.
They do it to themselves.
Yeah.
You'll love to see it. I don't know. We're running out of time here. There was a town hall, and again, you mentioned the mountain people and how they can be, and they can be lovely. They're some of the nicest people I've ever met. There are also some kooks. But they held a town hall. We were able to watch from a distance. From a distance via Facebook Live. And so, well, okay. Oh man, there's just too much to tell. Here's what's up. I think it was Tuesday. And up to this point, it's like we're still hearing jack shit. And a video comes out of this guy. I think he was the fire marshal. And he's explaining, there's a big map behind him. He's explaining exactly what's going on. He says, like, we're doing great work. Honest, when this fire started, we genuinely wrote down and thought we were going to lose over 1,000 structures. We haven't lost any structures. So it started as a small thing. Didn't seem like a big deal. When we woke up the next day, it got out of hand and we lost control of it. And I'm like, okay, great. It's awesome to see someone like taking responsibility for that and just saying like, yeah, we fucked up and it's huge now, but we're doing everything we can. We're holding the line strong here. All the information we've been looking for.
Because it was caused by like equipment by 2 workers, correct? That's what I read.
Was the airport fire.
Oh, okay.
This one, there were 3 fires, there still are, going on at the same time in this area. The line fire is mine, the bridge fire is right next door and over 60,000 acres, and the airport fire is, I think, 20,000. That was mechanical, hence the name, airport. This one, they're saying, was arson. Oh. They've arrested a suspect.
Ooh.
They can't give further details right now, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Get cameras on these freaks.
Get cameras on these freaks now. This video came out and it was like, this is everything we've been wanting to know. Awesome. We have faith in the fire department. Fantastic. The next day, the video is taken down. And Jocelyn's reading about it because she's in all the Facebook groups. I don't have the stomach for that shit. So she gets
all the stomach for Facebook in general.
Hardly. I check it once a month. But
they've been doing this new thing lately just to prepare you for the next time you log on, where you get a fucking notification anytime somebody you're friends with does anything.
You'll love that. It's such a good website. Um, this video gets taken down, and she is seeing, and we're recontextualizing it. Oh, that was leaked. That was a video from the fire marshal to all the firefighters.
Yeah, an internal
that was
memo.
Supposed to be internal. The very next day, they're like, we're doing a Facebook Live. And the attitude is very fucking different and very fucking defensive and very propaganda rah-rah. We did it. We've done it. We're the best. Yay. And it's like, that left such a worse taste in our mouth than the honest video.
Right.
Just be fucking honest. Yeah. Is that so bad? So a couple days later, and then we'll wrap this up, there's an actual town hall. So in Crestline, town down from us, which is also safe right now. They held this town hall with a Q&A at the end. And it was like the fire marshal, the sheriff, the deputy marshal, fire chief, some guy from the National Forest Department, all there together. They lay out the shit. It's 37,000 acres. It's at that point, I think it was 18% contained. This is where it's headed, blah, 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 blah. And Q&A time. And so we're watching on Facebook Live. We're going, all right, let's get some cues.
Yeah.
And see if we can get any A's out of them. You know what I mean?
As we all know, and I don't know if you were thinking about this at the time before this Q&A started.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely are good cues asked at a Q&A open to the public.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So first, before the Q&A, it's like truly all they said what I just said, 37,000 acres or whatever, 18% containment. This is where it's headed. This is where it's not. We're holding strong here. This is where the line is. Everything past that was each of these fucking dummies talking about what good fucking friends they are. Like, we're all just, we're great pals. We hang out on the weekend. We got each other's backs. We love each other. We're great friends with the other counties. And because we're such great friends with all these other counties, they're lined up to any time we call. We don't even have to ask. It's a yes, that sort of shit. Like, sure. All right, great. So the Q&A starts. And basically the first question is a decent question. Something we've been wondering. Like,
what advice do you have for somebody trying to break into the entertainment industry?
The question is, this started on Thursday. What took so long?
Yeah.
To start seeing a response to it. They get very defensive about it, and the answer is essentially like, well, we responded to it on Thursday. We were right there. And literally the fire chief going like, I wasn't there that day, but I'm told we were right on it. Later in that sentence mentioned being there. And then at the end of the sentence was like, so I didn't get there till the next day. Okay. Cool. A little fucking space traveler, night crawler creature. But so bunch of every single question, it's like, oh, praise you, the fire chiefs. None of these people have been anywhere near the fucking fire. They even mentioned it. They're like, we are just the guys that look at the maps. They're like, oh, God bless you. Like, no, these guys fucked up. They fucked up royally. Thankful for all the firefighters doing the hard work. These guys dropped the fucking ball. And I'm not here needing a scapegoat. I don't need someone to be just like, it was me. I fucked up. But they're just pretending it didn't happen and ignoring that question entirely. So some time goes on. A bunch of more. Every single question is just like, my question is, I love the fire department. Next question,
thank
please.
you.
Also, they held this on 9/11 when no one could say anything bad about the fire department. Clever.
Yeah,
PR.
Somebody was like, hey, I know that we could get out some information earlier, but
I've got an idea.
I know I'm just one of these guys that looks at a map. But push giving away the vital information to the community.
I took a break. I looked at a calendar. And guess what's coming up? So, like, almost all the way through this, it's this woman's turn to ask a question, and she sounds angry. And we're like, all right, let's fucking go.
Right.
What's this? What's this? Let's go. And she goes like, first off, I want to thank all the firefighters doing amazing work. I heard a rumor, and I would like to address this rumor. A friend of mine told me that there's a rumor going around that you actively didn't tend to the fire when it started for financial purposes because you wanted to wait and let it get bigger, use more resources, get more money from the city, shit like that. And we're like, oh, this is it. This is what I've been wanting to know. Like, and they start squirming. They look stiff. They look like, here's the big question. And she goes, so I asked that friend, where did you hear this? And they said, Facebook. And I said, check your sources, because the fire department would never do anything like that. They are amazing, and they're doing everything to save our lives. And I'm a history teacher at the school. And I'm like, oh, fucking cool.
Somebody sounds unqualified to teach history if you think
I've never gotten like
there's
so
not
excited.
Corruption in public places.
And then just been like, okay, the world is bad. It sucked. And their response was like, thank you, ma'am. That's right.
It
sucked.
Is Facebook a notorious place for misinformation?
Absolutely.
Sure. Is it possible that they didn't do it for financial reasons and just did it out of incompetence? Of course.
100%.
But
at the very least...
Man, you didn't ask a question.
I know! The worst part!
This is a Q&A.
I hate statements in Q&As. And there was the last one was a statement also. It's like, I'm reading a statement from my boss. I'd like to say this. They didn't even respond to it. They're just like,
thank you for protecting the businesses.
Yes. I don't know. It was very dispiriting.
For the firefighters for keeping our local economy strong.
Yeah. So again, all I can do is reiterate, I've got nothing but respect for the firefighters. They're risking their lives, and it is crazy out there. I did just remember the other awkward thing, which is that all they kept repeating, and we got to take this quiz, but listen.
We do.
This has been all that I've been thinking about and dealing with since last Thursday. It's all that's in my brain. So we were turtled. We were turtled. Early on, when it exploded and got really, really bad, when it got beyond what they expected it would be, was because, there was so much basically, it's just like we've had a wet year. There'd been a lot of rain, which grew a lot more vegetation than normal, and now it's been like 100-degree weather. It's all dry as hell. Just created like the perfect
storm,
the perfect storm for a fire. And so it's burning so hot that it's creating its own weather patterns inside the fire. The fire has separate weather from the rest of the area.
That fucking rules.
This is what I'm talking about. It gets beyond that. The weather it was creating was a fucking thunderstorm. Within the fire, thousands of thunder and lightning bolts hitting the ground, causing more fires. Because it was so hot. It was creating this weather pattern, and from within, creating winds blowing outwards. So it's blowing the fire out. This is a nightmare for firefighters. This is the worst fucking thing that could happen in this place. The awkward thing is that I think it's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
It's so cool.
It's so fucking rad. That fire can create its own weather, including lightning and thunder. And we heard the thunder when we were up here before we left. That's kind of what started us going like, I think we should go. As you're hearing loud thunder crashing and finding out that it was all within the fire. I was just like, this is, what's that fucking movie we watched for Mary's podcast?
The Hurricane Heist?
The Hurricane Heist. This is Hurricane Heist level stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Geostorm.
Geostorm, absolutely.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen a movie in 4DX, Geostorm, with former guest Tori Ann Thompson.
Oh,
the two of us went to go see Geostorm.
Ugh. Sounds like a grand old time.
It was fine.
Anyways, we'll wrap this up. I'll just make sure to say that at the town hall, I'm not doing
we
great.
were turtled at the town hall.
At the town hall, we were turtled. They were very clear to be like, listen, we've heard a lot of you worried about looters.
We've heard a lot of you think this fire is fucking rad, and we just want to say that's not helpful.
If people on the mountain listened to this podcast, I would be the most hated person here. And that sucks because I just have an honest concern about what the fuck happened and why it was done that way and who I can vote out.
Yeah.
Who is an elected official among these. But no, they were very sure to be like, we know you're all worried about looters. Just know we're watching all your homes. And guess what? We found one. And he's in prison.
And he's here right now.
And he's here.
Bring him out.
To sing a little song. He's going to react to the Joker Filet-A-Doo trailer live on stage. There were also
Please
dumbasses.
welcome Wonkerdama.
I love Wonkerdama. That is such a fun thing to say. That means jack shit. But no, they were like, yeah, we arrested one looter. Yay. And they didn't actually have proof he was a looter, but he was driving in the area he shouldn't have been on a stolen motorcycle. So not great.
Yeah.
And then also that they arrested the suspect. People, a lot of rah-rah. They were very happy about that. We'll see. Still a suspect. I'm sure he's guilty. But it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Anyways,
Absolutely.
I'm rambling.
Get cameras on these freaks.
Get cameras on these freaks. And get babies back in their beds. Out of the sky. Katie, stop singing about them. They're going to get the wrong idea. We got babies on fire. We got people eating dogs.
Baby's on fire.
Did we do it? I don't know.
I think we did.
I got so much more to say, and I feel again like I'm coming off as a bad person. But it's been illuminating. And I do love this community. I love the nature out here. That's the biggest loss of wildlife and the beautiful trees on the way up here. I just, it seems pretty clear that this wasn't handled correctly and pretty clear that a lot of people out here are susceptible to very basic propaganda.
Shocking. Something that we hope they are also susceptible to is listening to this podcast. Oh, if you live on that mountain, listen to this podcast and see if you hate Evan or not.
Yeah.
You can find this podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pocket Casts, HowDoWeHuman.com, anywhere that you get your podcasts. You can rate, review, comment, subscribe, all those wonderful things.
Please.
You can check us out on our social media. You can find us on Instagram at HowDoWeHuman.
We got that handle.
You can check us out on Facebook, that place that we both said we hate, at HowDoWeHuman.
I don't think you want to check that handle.
You can check us out on YouTube at HowDoWeHuman.
This handle's on fire.
You can also leave us a voicemail at 323-657-9896.
The worst part of that handle is that it no longer exists. We didn't get enough use and they shut it down.
Oh, interesting.
So, hey, we got one message. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan. You can, well, I don't know if the P.O. box was saved in the fires, but you can send something to our P.O. box. Find that
That's
on our
true.
website.
Yeah.
You can also send us an email to HowDoWeHumanPod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is it's a baby in the sky.
Evan, we do still have to take our little quizzle, 5 trivia questions on our race to 100 points.
Yes.
As a refresher, I'm at 86 points. I'm 14 points away from victory. Evan, you're at 82 points. Pretty close. I think somebody else is on a stolen motorcycle out here. And then, of course, I do have to address the elephant in the room. Yes. Dustin still has 4 points.
Yes.
Evan, how are you feeling?
Dustin the elephant.
How are you feeling going into these 5 questions? I think that you have a much better shot at this first one than I do.
I love to hear that. I've got my usual blind confidence, but through this episode, I do realize that fire is all I have been thinking about. My brain might be empty. Wonkerdama. It's Wonkerdama on.
All right. Well, this first question is sports related, so that's why I think you have a better shot at it than I do.
I love Wonkerdama.
Question number 1. What was the first sport to be televised in the U.S.? Football, lacrosse, baseball, or basketball?
I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I can't say I'm positive. But I'm
definitely not positive, but I have an answer.
Okay, let's go.
I'm going with America's pastime, baseball.
Me too.
We were both correct.
Hooray! Which ABBA song won the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest? Tiger, Honey Honey, Waterloo, or Mamma Mia?
Man, this is tough.
This is tough. I feel like I did know that that's kind of where they came from, but yeah, this is not a piece of trivia I know. I had my immediate instinct, though, and I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, I did know that that's where they came from. I just didn't know which song it was. And man, I'm really torn between 3 of them. So it's kind of a problem.
I'm kind of in the spot of I don't know 2 of these songs, except one of them I think is a Neil Diamond song, which he writes songs for other people all the fucking time, so not impossible. The one I want to guess, I'll just throw it out there. I'm guessing Waterloo. Waterloo! I do know that song.
Yeah.
I don't know when it came out within their career, but it feels early. So
I also am going with Waterloo. I feel
Let's
like that's also more like tied to Europe for some reason. So that's part of my reasoning.
Tiger. I don't know what it is, but sounds like a killer song.
Yeah, Tiger is the only one that I'm not familiar with. So you answered Waterloo, correct? Okay. We are both correct again.
God, we're good.
I almost let the fact that was also the third answer sway me into staying away from it. So I'm glad I finally avoided doing that. Okay, ready? Oof. What does the MS reference in MSNBC?
I have no idea.
Mass Social, My Special, Modern Style, or Microsoft?
This is fascinating. I have no idea. I hope it's my special NBC.
I would love if it was my special NBC. That makes me laugh so. I love the idea of like, can we call him my special NBC?
I've got an idea. To set it apart from the regular NBC. What if it's my special? I don't know if Microsoft has anything to do with it. Money would change hands, and that makes sense.
Sure.
Mass social makes sense, but feels kind of like Das Kapital. Going back to last week's more communist questions. Modern Style, I think that's a magazine.
Yeah.
Mass Social. NBC.
I have my answer.
I think I'm going Mass Social.
Oh, we're sticking together again.
Let's together be 100% correct.
Nope.
Damn
Microsoft.
it is Microsoft.
That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. Like,
Wild.
I thought that was on there as a fake out, like MS Paint. But but I guess that was real.
That's fascinating. That feels like both NBC and Microsoft, such massive fucking companies. That's weird that that's not globally known, or it is, and we're not global.
Could be.
Achilles' heel was the result of him being dipped in what mythical river? Styx, Pishon, Sanzu, or Gihon?
There are two that kind of stick out to me, but I'm going first thought, best thought on this one.
Come sail away.
Yeah, I'm also going with Styx.
Sail away. I believe it is Styx.
It is. All right.
God,
well, both of us have gotten 3. The last question here. What TV show did Private Practice spin off from? Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs, Chicago Med, or New Amsterdam? You know, we were just talking about how we've only seen Scrubs.
Scrubs is the only one I've seen. I feel like Private Practice is an older show. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I know New Amsterdam. I want to say Grey's Anatomy.
Hey, we're sticking together again,
Let's
baby.
go.
Let's go. Grey's Anatomy's correct. We both get 4 points. The differential does not change.
That's great. We both got
however,
a Dustin's worth of points.
Exactly. We both gain a Dustin's worth of points, which does mean, Evan, that the score now is Chris with 90 points and Evan with 86.
It's at 90. New rule. If we, because we were talking about giving Dustin interest, but if we get through and neither of us gets a single question right on any quiz, should we say Dustin gets a point?
Sure.
Okay.
You're saying we have to miss all 5 and he gets a point. Okay.
Both of us miss all 5.
Oh, sure.
Maybe he gets 20 points.
If both of us miss all 5, then he gets 20 points. Sure.
Great. All right. You're back in the game. Elephant in the room.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
do you think elephants would be good at putting out fires?
Yeah. Let's get some wet elephants. Well, I guess they hold water in their trunk.
Yeah.
I'd ride an elephant into a fire.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That's what I say to you while you're riding the elephant into the fire.
That's my elephant song. Bye.